up, y'all? It's Poppin' with Cracking. It's D-Boss here after this. On this vid is titled How Pink Became So Uncool. Damn. I mean, I would think maybe a decade or two ago. When did, I don't know this woman's career, so I can't speak on it. But yeah, I guess people just stopped vibing with her music. I thought she was retired, but maybe not. Maybe she's still continuing to put out music. Let's hear what he has to say about it. Let's watch.
Pink broke out on the scene with
Yeah,
prefab
just like
boilerplate
a
audience R&B, as sound that was indebted to artists like TLC and Destiny's Child. Can't Take Me Home was a multi-million seller, but it did little to differentiate Pink's sound and imagery from other TRL R&B pop acts. It would come to be known later that Pink had no real creative control over her debut album or image, and she got tired of being a cookie-cutter teeny bopper, and took reins into her own hands in 2001 with the release of Misunderstood. By all accounts, Misunderstood feels like Pink's real debut record. It's where the world was introduced to Pink as a person and not just a pop act.
Yeah, that's what she wants.
There's a reason why Can't Take Me Home has not sustained the popularity of many of her earlier records, because Misunderstood is the album that actually set the tone for her career, and it is miles better than her debut record. I think it's safe to say it's where Pink's coolness began, and maybe also where it reached its height. Not that she was uncool during her debut era. I mean, she landed her first #1 hit with the ultra sexed up, ultra cool Lady Marmalade remake off the back of her debut era. But Misunderstood felt cool in the most honest and natural way. I don't think Pink's fight to make this record, especially given the time period in which she did, is respected or talked about enough. Her journey to this album is a pretty radical tale, and the journey is one of the coolest things ever for a 2000s pop star to have done. She plucked her idol Linda Perry, frontwoman of Four Non Blondes, out of obscurity to collaborate on the album, which ultimately led to Linda's career experiencing a massive resurgence and going on to work on other pivotal records for artists like Christina Aguilera and Gwen Stefani. Those records might not exist as we know it if it were not for Pink finding Linda Perry. She also worked with Dallas Austin. Both Linda and Dallas encouraged Pink to be more daring and vulnerable in her creative process. However, when she presented the songs to the head of her label, L.A. Reid, he was dissatisfied and did not believe in the path that she wanted to take, and was afraid of what it might mean for the fanbase she had acquired during her R&B days. Eventually, L.A. Reid relented and gave Pink what has been described as the opportunity to fail, which resulted in the most successful album of her career. Get the Party Started, the lead single from the album, was a bridge into her new style. It was a noticeable shift, but wasn't too dissimilar to the TRL party pop. The song and its video presented Pink with a notably more carefree and spunky attitude and appearance, and in simpler terms, just a cool party girl. But the lead single isn't reflective of the album as a whole, or its preceding singles. Don't Let Me Get Me was her first foray into the pop rock that would define her career. What makes this song so interesting is that it takes a direct jab at her label executive for not believing in her. Ellie told me you'll be a pop star. All you have to change is everything you are. The fact that this didn't lead to pushback or consequences from her label is quite remarkable, especially given the fact that she had to push so hard to be able to create this record. The album's third single, Just Like a Pill, talks about a toxic relationship, equating it to drug abuse. And the album's final single, Family Portrait, is probably the most personal song of Pink's career. It is a return to her R&B roots, but in a much more mature manner. The song beautifully details Pink's tumultuous childhood and her parents' divorce. The album is very messy, but also unrelenting. In a sense, it's all over the place, but it offers such a compelling look into the world of Pink and her life. She was also one of the first of her generation to make the jump from teen pop and to get more personal. Britney, Christina, and Justin would follow. The release of Misunderstood also coincided with the decline of teen pop, so really all the stars aligned for Pink for this record. What this record did was give Pink a sense of authenticity in relation to her teeny bopper peers. In other words, it made her cool. One essential factor to Pink's world building is being a misfit. You have likely heard it throughout her career, even in the song Don't Let Me Get Me you hear it. Tired of being compared to damn Britney Spears. She's so pretty, that just ain't me. Pink's whole shtick was being different from others and not fitting in with the normies. Unfortunately, this at many times came at the expense of her peers, but it represented a real marketing advantage for Pink. People who didn't see themselves in the glamorous, perfect Barbie dolls that were Britney and Christina likely got to see themselves in Pink, an appeal of someone you actually knew and perhaps could even be. Even in the face of commercial low points such as 2003's Try This, Pink kept her misfit bad girl persona, and her shtick
What
became
about Avril Lavigne? They didn't see themselves in her. Was this around? I'm pretty sure this was around the same time. I think, I don't know.
more recognizable and consistent as her career progressed. Brash, sneering, and fun, but also a bit of a misfit. Pink would continue to mature and hone in on the qualities that would define her throughout the 2000s and 2010s. And besides production, there are many artifacts in her songs
I think Christina
that speak
Aguilera
to the pace
recently,
of
she
her
looked
career
good.
and the cultural
She looked real
climate
good.
at the time of the song's release. Pink has had a ton of identifiable traits within her songs that continue to play into what people expect from her, while not explicitly repeating herself like, say, a Katy Perry does these days. One example is something I would call the Pink call-out. Obviously, there's the Britney shout-out / comparison in Don't Let Me Get Me. The DNA of this moment can be traced throughout her career, specifically in songs and videos such as Stupid Girls, the video in which she parodies celebrities such as Paris Hilton, and songs and videos such as Stupid Girls.
Let's give 50 Cent.
The video in which she parodies celebrities such as Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. The same sentiment is reflected in her 2008 smash, So What?, which is about a separation from her husband, but she still can't help to make it known that she is different than her peers. The waiter just took my table and gave it to Jessica Sims. It's the same gimmick, but they reflect different time periods. And the ethos of songs like Just Like a Pill and Don't Let Me Get Me and Who Knew can be found in songs like Sober and Just Give Me a Reason. I really think So What was the start of the second leg of Pink's career. It's fun, it's brash, and not polarizing. After this song, her career would be engrossed with anthemic songs that echo the same sentiments that can be found in the beginning of her career, where she lays heavily on the Misfit and kiss-off anthems. I really think So What is the golden standard that triggered the second leg of her career. And most of these songs came at the hands of producers like Max Martin. Even in songs like So What, where she's exuding confidence, there's this sense of not fitting in with the Jessica Simpson line. It's just something that she never exactly lost. But as her career would progress, her take on the subject matter would become a bit more general and inclusive. Like on her #1 song, Raise Your Glass, we will never be anything but loud and nitty-gritty dirty little freaks. She doesn't center herself in this song at all. The single that followed it had a similar premise. It's called Fucking Perfect. Meanwhile, a song like Blow Me One Last Kiss, which is a great song, has a similar premise to So What as well. And even her more personal songs, such as Try, have a motivational angle to them. Pink is never exactly the conqueror in her songs without some form of resistance. 2017's Beautiful Trauma is where she officially settled into the more tame territory. Not that Pink has ever been the ultimate wild card, it's mostly marketing fodder, but her brashness, funniness, and wildness comes across a bit more muted and calculated. And of course, the lead and most successful single from this album, What About Us, continues to follow that anthemic formula being othered, but it is arguably the most general and wide-appealing anthem of its ilk in Pink's career. Not fitting in is a common thread in Pink's career, and she has matured it, tried it on in different styles, and utilized different perspectives. And you can gradually see Pink softening her edges as her career continued, until she finally settled into soccer mom territory. And Pink is actually well aware that she's now a soccer mom and that is her demographic. And that to me is actually very cool that she's just so self-aware and has embraced it. She literally said that her 2017 album Beautiful Trauma was a reflection of her life as a soccer mom. It's all a reflection, she said. I had a lot of time to live my life between records this time, more than I've ever had before. We're always involved with real people, with real struggles, and are constantly watching the news and taking it all in. But at the same time, we live on a farm, so I've been a soccer mom for 4 years, taking my daughter to preschool, doing bake sales, lemonade stands, kindergarten, and all sort of stuff. Each album is a snapshot of where you are at that time, if you're being honest. Her 2019 album, Hurts to Be Human, sounded overly constructed, but songs like 90 Days shows that Pink's emotion is still very present in her music. Pink was never a brazen rock star, and she existed within the same machine as her peers. Even if she tried to convince her audience, she didn't. She certainly took some daring chances though. I think her best music is ruled by the personality she brings to a record. Pink did succeed in growing with her music, sound, and marketing gimmick, but it has taken on a more schmaltzy and humdrum approach as she's edged further into her career. We can't say it hasn't worked well for her though. Pink is an incredible singer and incredible performer. She has also become a touring giant. She's not cool anymore, but I think she's done the legacy act thing properly. She's not trapped in a nostalgia box like Avril Lavigne, She's
Oh,
not trying to recapture her past glory to the extent of Katy Perry.
damn.
She hasn't necessarily abandoned her core fan base to the extent of someone like Gwen Stefani.
Oh, what kind of
And
music
she's
she
not
making?
regulated to her younger work to the extent of a peer like Christina Aguilera. Really, I don't think Pink gets enough credit in that aspect.
But y'all see,
A peer like
Christina looked the fuck good. I think this is a recent photo.
Christina Aguilera. Really, I don't think Pink gets enough credit in that aspect. She has blazed a clear path for seasoned pop stars of this century to follow. She kept her brand, progressively mellowed it out, and filled a space in the adult contemporary world. And she gets to reap all the benefits of being a legacy act because she's been very careful with how she transformed her career. Honestly, this is a path that pop stars like Katy Perry followed, she likely would have fared better. Pink also has the continued benefit of being a safe alternative for edginess for mature conservative audiences. She is the mildest flavor of spice on the edgy pop star spectrum. But for people who aren't interested in hearing a lot of swear words, progressive production, or personal troubles that don't come in the form of sanitized Max Martin anthems, she is perfect. In image, at least historically, she is as wild as the best of them. In actuality, she's quite comfortable, and always has been.
Interesting. Oh. Okay, seems like she started to embrace, how her life changed, and she leaned into that, and it reflected in her music. I don't feel like that's necessary, though. He kind of shaded Katy Perry for, not doing that and wanting to, make music how she did years ago. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the problem is that people just feel like the music wasn't good. Because I think of Beyonce, for example. She not leaning into this mom role and only making songs about, her current life. She's still making, like, songs saying, I'm that bitch, I'm that girl, da-da-da. Like, she's still making this very much so party and, like, bad bitch music, and I'm here for it. That's what I want to hear, because not everybody has kids and can relate to that. That type of change and that type of music, and I don't think that needs to be consistently expressed through your music. I'm just speculating, by the way, because I have not heard any of Pink's newest music, so I can't say if she was like constantly singing about that. But that does turn people off. I also think about like Chance the Rapper, for example. Of course, different genre in rap, but when he made that album and was talking about his wife a lot, people were turned off. They're like, oh, all right, cool, we get your life is different now, you have different priorities, but this is not why we liked your music. So we kind of want to fuck with the upbeat Chance the Rapper that we know, and he leaned into something else. So yeah, I mean, people I guess think that she became uncool, and I can see why if she leaned into the whole soccer mom sound, because what does that even sound like? I haven't heard it, so again, I don't know, but it doesn't sound interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!